Hello, everyone, and welcome. I know we're in a new year, but in my opinion, 2016 is not over yet. This is my review of Patriots Day. This film is directed by Peter Berg, who also this year in 2016 gave us Deepwater Horizon, based on a true story starring Mark Wahlberg. And he also has worked with Mark Wahlberg in 2013 and directed Lone Survivor, another amazing film. Now, I believe Patriots Day did get a small release in December to qualify for Oscars. So in my opinion, this is gonna be a 2016 film for me, and I was very excited to see this film. I remember hearing about this movie when Deepwater Horizon did get released, and I was like, oh my gosh, Peter Berg has already made an amazing film with this film and did a great job with Mark Wahlberg in the past with Lone Survivor. So I was really excited to see this new film directed by Peter Berg, who I think is a really great director. And I like when he steps out of not telling a true story and making something funny, like The Rundown. But my favorite films from Peter Berg are the films like Friday Night Lights, Lone Survivor, and Deepwater Horizon. And so I had a lot of anticipation for this movie, a lot of excitement, and I was a little worried at first because of the tough subject matter. Now, of course, what is this movie about? I can't believe I forgot to say what this movie is about. So, of course, this movie is about the 2013 bombings at the Boston Massacre in April of 2013. So I knew the initial incident that happened in this film, and I remember hearing about the terrorist and the manhunt, not in great detail, but I didn't follow as much. I didn't know all the facts. So watching this movie, I felt that the filmmakers are doing the best job that they could. I know based on a true story doesn't mean that everything might be true or every detail is in there, because you're taking 4 or 5 days in the life of people, the life of a city, in the life of Boston, and you're condensing it down to 2 hours and 10 minutes. I know that can be tough, but over the course of 2 hours and 10 minutes, I felt like I really got to know everyone involved. Yes, Mark Wahlberg is the star of the movie, but it's more of an ensemble piece. We have a lot of actors and actresses, and I'm not really interested in talking about that much because all of them were great in the movie. All of them were fine, and I like how the real heroes were introduced throughout the film, and you get to meet a little bit of them. You're like wondering how are they going to fit into this story, and throughout the film you kind of have an idea, and it's kind of it's very well paced as you see how this real incident unravels on the screen. And I just really felt that the filmmakers were very respectful, and I felt that they really wanted to try their hardest, not only to make a very entertaining film, but also do something that respects the dead and also honors the real true heroes of that day. Because we get to meet the runners, we get to meet the spectators, we get to meet the officials, we get to meet just random people that happen to fall into this somehow, and we get to meet the terrorists themselves. And everybody seems to get a human face. And you kind of get an understanding of pretty much where they're coming from. So I really enjoy that. I never felt like I was confused. Sometimes when you see a movie and they lay out names of people. Now, I might have not remembered every one of their names, but I know that was attached to a real person, and I do appreciate that. I always felt like I had a sense of who was associated with this movie, and I think that's what the filmmakers really wanted to do, and I think they succeeded very well in actually getting you to see the real people that were involved in this story. The movie's an extremely emotional experience. That's what I mainly want to talk about, and someone who didn't know all the details, I like where this movie goes and, of course, the outcome. And I had a general sense of the outcome of the movie, since it being a true story, but I didn't know all the details. So it was kind of exciting and surprising to see exactly where this went. But the movie is extremely emotional, and it's not for everyone. It's very intense. It's very sad. But you can't help but be proud to be American. You can't help but be proud of our police officers and the people that were going through this experience. You can't help but admire them and their courage. And it was really interesting. Also we get a perspective of all the people that were doing so much good that day, but we also get an idea of the terrorists themselves. And I thought that was really, really interesting. Kind of reminded me of another film that dealt with a major tragedy, and that would be United 93. And I really appreciate the attention to detail, from the race itself to the bombing, to the investigation and to the manhunt and capture at the very end. And I really appreciate some of the things that are at the very, very end that felt like a documentary, that I felt like I would hope that that little piece of movie is actually maybe an hour or an hour and a half film, because I'd really, now that I've seen this recreation, I would really love to see a documentary, and there probably is one out there. If you know, please let me know. But I'd like to see one that felt like the last few minutes of this film, because I was really interested to see how the story unfolded and then actually get to meet the real men and women that experienced that they were there that day, that experienced that, whether they were just enjoying the day or actually protecting the day and protecting the few days. And not only is this a great film about America and how we get through tragedy, but it's also a great film to honor the city of Boston and the people of Boston and what they go through. And I appreciate the film. Yeah, it's a serious movie. It's a very intense, serious movie, but there is a lot of humanity that comes through some of the humor that I would feel like, okay, maybe that's a little bit of movie magic, but I feel like the officers, as they're going through this hell, that they would talk like this, that they would act like this, that they would, their personalities and their sense of humor would still be intact as they're going through this major, horrible event. So my hats off to Peter Berg. My hat's off to Peter Berg and his crew. I think they've done a fantastic job with making this movie. And I think if you're going to make a movie like this, you really got to make it in this way. I mean, I really feel like if you take a story like this and you glamour it up and make it all Hollywood and all this stuff, it's going to really ruin the overall experience. So I appreciate that Peter Berg was the man to help bring all these people together to make this film, because I think he made a great film, a great companion piece, of course, to his other movies that deal with true stories. I just think he has a great sense of reality and drama and mixing it together to make you not only entertained but also feel something as you're leaving the theater and be reminded of, the important things in life, and to live life, to enjoy life, to help others, and to be a good person. And that's what I felt like after watching this movie. I felt like I need to be a better person in my life. It was a great film. It was a very wonderful and special movie that I really, really enjoyed. I also enjoyed the music, which actually was written by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It was a really great score. Let me know in the comment box below what you thought of this film. Have you got a chance to see it? I'd be really interested to see your opinion. Now, if you were there and experienced this, I'd like to see if you agree, if they handled the subject matter properly to honor both living and the dead. I'd really like to know that as well. That would be interesting to me to hear that, especially the people that really were around that day and saw that and now maybe have seen the film. All right, everyone, I love this film. I think it's definitely one of the best films of 2016, and I'm going to give Patriots Day, I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars out of 4.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.